Okay, so example number 2. We need to get the x alone. So let's just put my little symbol here. Well, the first thing I'll do is I'll add 8 to get rid of the subtraction. Because again, we're doing backwards BEDMAS. So we're going to get rid of the addition and subtraction first. So I have negative 5x, I got that symbol, and then I've got 12 plus 8, which is 20. And now this is timesing by negative 5, so I will divide by the negative 5. That way those will cancel. So I'll divide that by negative 5. So I have x, and 20 over negative 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4, but there is that negative symbol, so I'm going to go negative 4. And here is the sneaky thing. Whenever you divide by a negative number, or whenever you multiply by a negative number, you will have to flip the inequality. So you can see here that I had that shape and then that shape, and whenever I divide, then I have to flip it. So I started with that shape and then I had to flip it to this shape. So that only happens when you have to multiply or divide by a negative symbol. So you can see that here. It's been, can I change this? Yes, I can. It only happens when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number. Not when you add or subtract, but only if you multiply or divide. Those are the important parts right there. So it's when you multiply or divide. Now, I've done that, so I'm going to write this, box my answer, and I'll write a little sentence. X is, now x here is on the smaller pointy end. So x is less than, or x is smaller. So x is smaller, not equal to. So x is smaller than negative 4. All right, so 2 more to go. I'm going to start this one by saying, and I've done this all along, whenever there's some side, I like to write the x first. So I'm going to write that negative 7x first, and then I'm going to have that positive 5. And you don't have to do that, but that's helpful for me because I see it's a positive 5, and I'm going to see that I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract this positive 5 here, and positive 5 and negative 5 will cancel. So I've got 19 minus 5, which is 14. I got that symbol, and I got a negative 7x. Now I will divide by negative 7. Divide by negative 7. Those are gone. So 14 divided by negative 7. Well, 14 divided by 7 is 2, and it is negative, so I'll make it negative. And on the right side, I have just an x. And then the symbol. And because I divided, I got to look here, I divided by a negative number. I'm going to have to flip the symbol the other way. So let me just erase this. Here we go. What does this say? Well, x here is near the pointy end of that thing. So I have to say x is smaller. So I'm reading it. X is beside the point. So you say x is smaller than, not equal to, so x is smaller than negative 2. All right. I think we got one more to go here. Yep. I like the way this is written for C, the X and then the number, so I'm not going to rearrange anything. I'm going to do my little line there. So I need to do backwards BEDMAS. I need to get rid of the addition or subtraction by doing the opposite, so I'll add. Because it's a minus 6, I'll add. Those are gone. 36 plus 6 is 42. And there's that symbol, and negative 3x. Now this is timesing, x is timesing by negative 3, so I will divide by negative 3. So that's gone. I'll divide this by negative 3. Now, I don't know what 42 divided by 3 is, so I'll go 3 into 42. 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3, and I can subtract it, carry down the 2. So 3 goes into 12, 14. So 42 divided by negative 3 is 14, but negative. And on the right side, we've got just an x. And then because I divided by that negative, I'm going to have to flip the symbol. And there we have it. So this says, because now x is on the big opening side. So x is on the bigger side. So we say x is larger or greater or more. X is more than, if you can hear that, just a baby crying, or equal to negative 14. So you can't forget the or equal to. So we'll do that. We'll do more of these in just a moment. But I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see. All of example 2, A, B, and C, we divided by a negative number, which caused the symbol to flip every time. But C was kind of nice because it also had an equal to. All right. The trickiest part will be, well, I guess maybe just remembering to flip it, but really it's reading these things. For instance, X here, reading this, I thought I was on the highlighter. To read this as X is less than negative 2. I think that's going to be one of the trickiest parts. So you might need to spend a lot of time working on these things, asking questions in class, or looking up on the internet. There's something about an alligator. I don't know how to do that, but some people do. But you need to know how to write, how to know if things are smaller or larger than.